In this chapter, we're going to look at elastic audio, see what it can do. The way to explain the concept of elastic audio is, imagine that this is a ribbon and I have stuck a pin right over here and I've stuck a pin right over here. Those are pinned to my imaginary cork board, and then I grab in the middle here and I stretch in the middle. The end doesn't change, this end doesn't change, but the stuff in the middle changes. And maybe if I pinned it right there and right there, I could stretch right here and change this internal timing. So that's how ProTools describes it in the reference guide, as a way to pin each end of the file and then stretch the middle. So I'll use their analogy. Why would we use this? Well, maybe we don't want to change the overall length as we can do with the TCE trimmer. We saw that the TCE trimmer will take this whole file and make it shorter, make it longer. We don't want to change the overall length. We want to change the internal timing and leave the overall length in place. So I've recorded myself counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Not very fancy, but I wanted to show you this in terms of bars and beats and minutes and seconds so that you can feel comfortable using either one for the project that you're doing. Let's enable elastic audio. Over here, there's a little oil can looking device. And if we click on that, we see that there are 4 algorithms available for elastic audio. Polyphonic is what you use when you have more than one tone at the same time. So if you had a chord, a guitar chord, a keyboard chord, anytime you have more than one pitch playing at the same time. Rhythmic is what you use when you don't have any pitches. Let's say it's a drum part. Monophonic is what we'd use here because I have one person talking and not more than one event at any given time. The top 3 will change the timing without affecting the pitch. Varispeed says, I will not only change the timing, but I'll change the pitch as well. So our goal here is to change the timing without changing the pitch. I'm going to choose monophonic. So elastic audio is not enabled on every track that you create unless you go to Preferences and check the box that enables you to do that. Our thinking when we covered preferences, and that particular preference, was that let's not tie up our processing power unless we know we need it. Elastic audio is enabled now, and we switch from waveform to analysis. If you saw the Beat Detective movie, you saw that it placed triggers on certain transients in the audio file. That's what we see here. It's actually found more than we wanted to find. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it gave me the th and the re, and then it gave me the f and the or, and it gave me the wa, un. A little more than I'm bargaining for here. Let's try and place these accurately, watching the ruler here on the top. This one is just a smidgen late. Here it split the difference. And if I want to get rid of a marker, I Option click or Alt click on a PC, and that will get rid of an extraneous marker that you don't need. The goal here is to get as many as you need and no more or less than that. This one I'm going to slide back just a bit and then get rid of the guy behind it. Okay, so I have this one at the beginning. I'm going to leave him kind of over there, and you'll see why in a second. That's the analysis. We switch to warp, and we can actually start warping. To complete the analogy from before, if I want to stretch in the middle, I need to pin something. So I double-click and create an anchor point, and I double-click back here and create an anchor point, and then I can stretch the stuff in the middle. So we'd expect everything on the left of this line to be slower, everything on the right of this line to be faster. Let's take a listen. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. That's a little extreme. Let me undo just a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. Now it got really grainy in there. That's really interesting. I wonder if a different algorithm will give us a better result. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. And it did in this case. Monophonic actually worked for me the last time I tried it on this audio file, but today polyphonic seems to be better. So I'd encourage you to experiment. If you don't like what you hear the first time, change it around. Let's see if polyphonic handles a bigger change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. And it does. In this case, polyphonic was the way to go. If I move this too far, a red area pops up. And Pro Tools is sort of warning you that you're kind of in the danger zone. You may not like what you hear. Let's see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4.
Still not bad, but if that were a singer or a guitar player, it might be a little tough to deal with. Undo that, undo that. Now we're back to where we were. If I had a particular word on a particular frame of film that I needed to nail, then I could create a warp marker and move this word so that it exists right on the frame of film that I need. Great for Foley type work and syncing up to picture. Close this window. You'll know if elastic audio has been applied to a clip. Even if you're back on waveform, you can still see the little elastic icon up here in the corner. It's reminiscent of that little oil can looking thing down there. And then in the clip bin, you can also see that it's been marked forever as elastic audio. So that's elastic audio on announcers. We can also use it on musical events, and we'll see that in the next movie.